I'm the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter here to get you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we've got first is a data engineer, a fresher, so entry level. This person completely and utterly docks themselves on the top half, so I cannot show it. Please, when you send it to me, scrub your personal information. I am showing these on the internet. So, alright, what we're looking for is Python, ETL, data pipeline, Scala, data, algorithms, SDLC, SQL, big data, Spark, cloud, warehousing, and the ability to manage and communicate data warehouse plans to non-technical people. So, I did a meter yeet of this, and the answer to this was, in fact, a yeet. So, partly the problem was formatting. If I actually found one or two things that I could use, but part of it was formatting. You want your resume to look like this, okay? This is me. And I understand this is for a barista, but this is peak resume. I swear to you all. People assume that a software engineer should have a different resume than, say, a teacher versus a cashier versus a hippopotamus wrestler, right? Like they all assume you need something different. And the actual thing is the formatting, you don't. The only times you want a different formatting than this is if you are a high-level director, you have an incredibly chaotic work history, we're talking like 20 jobs in 3 years, or you primarily do short-term contracts. Those are the three reasons you would want another resume. Otherwise, for everybody else, there's this. So, I need to see that. So, what I missed is primarily going to be a lot. So objectives don't count, skill sections don't count, they should be deleted, and stop bolding everything. Remember, it should look like this. This is easy to read. This is how I find these qualifications. If this is not this easy to read, I will miss it in the time I have, because I do not have 3 minutes to dig through your resume. I have about 15 to 40 seconds. That's really going to depend on the industry. Most of y'all are only going to get about 20 seconds. So the formatting on this is so hard that I could not find what I needed. So the things I did find are cloud and ETL, and that was about it. So this is actually an okay one because it tells me what you did, and I don't really care too much about the 200 MS, but it does give me cloud and it does tell me what you did. This, I don't really care. You already mentioned cloud. DynamoDB is not super what I'm looking for. SageMaker is not what I'm looking for. Key learning, yeah, so part of this is junk. The only thing I found here was cloud. Because remember, this is the stuff I'm looking for, right? It's not really here. It doesn't really matter. And maybe you will find slightly different qualifications, and that's okay. But I'm not looking for all of this stuff. It might be okay to put in AML, right? I think that's okay to put in AML, but you don't want all of it. So design and implemented an automated ETL data pipeline. Yes, this is good. Although what you do want to say is extract, transform, and load, and then in parentheses put ETL. And then for the rest of the resume, put ETL or ELT. ETL. Medallion, root of data analytics for Azure, SQL, DB. Using additive will change data capture. See, this is how you would write extract, transform, and load, is ETL like this. So, although I don't think I really care about change data capture. Star schema, data encryption, data pipeline, and then you do it here, which is weird, but you didn't do it up top. Yeah, I just don't see this stuff. Like, where's the data warehousing? Where's the big data like Spark? Where's the SQL? Where's the SDLC? You don't have to say, like, did SDLC. Just say in a software development lifecycle. Where are the algorithms? Where are the data? Where are the data? Where are the data pipelines? Where's the Python? Where's the Scala? So, like I said, I only really found cloud, which was good. And I found, what was the other one? ETL. But I didn't really find anything else. And I also don't see how you're able to manage, communicate data warehouse plans to non-technical people, or in this case, anybody non-technical. You don't necessarily have to communicate data warehouse plans specifically, but, you know, as a data engineer, part of your job is going to be talking to people that don't know anything. They don't know anything, and your job is to teach them that. So that's all I can do for this resume. But your formatting is hurting you and your bullet points, so it's a case of both of them. And if you need more help, you can stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST, where I go over this stuff on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. I also go in a little bit more detail than I can in the videos. So hit that bell, like and subscribe, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a gemologist. Safe to say I've never recruited for a gemologist, but what they're going to be looking for, at least for this particular role, is Microsoft Office, AMS, CRM platforms. I don't know what AMS is, but CRM is Customer Relationship Management Platforms, and LMS, which I don't fully know, organizational communication skills and project management. So basically, can you keep people organized? Leadership in managing staff or contractors. This role is, you're going to have to take the lead. And customer service and how you helped. Membership operations or associate management, ideally in a nonprofit or trade organization. I actually have no idea what that is. It was in it. It's important. I cannot judge this because this is not a role I've worked on. So let's review the resume. This is great. We do want to see this, but we want to see it like right here. So just under this, put fluent in both English and Spanish, or you could say right after here. So you want to put it up here. Then there's a slightly too big gap here, and I would maybe condense these if you could into one. So GIA, you could say GG and AJP GIA certificates in both accredited, dual professional, and gemology, but that's okay. And then this is good. This one's good. Bachelor's in geology. We do want to see status graduated though, just so they know. So anyway, a phone call. This is spam. I can ignore that. Sorry, y'all. So you do want to just state status graduated. That is something, but let's do this. So engage with prospects who would benefit from solar energy services across English and Spanish. Identified over prospects resulting in product sales. Maintain organizational timelines. Follow up to optimize. Recognize the top national performers. So these are good, but I need a little bit more from you. So first off, did you use MS Office? Right? Because remember, this is what we're looking for. Engaging with customers is good, but if anything, I would cut this short to maybe probably just like this, right? Engage with prospects in both English and Spanish while maintaining an organizational timeline and ensuring everything was followed up. So that way you only really have one, right? And then we can go to here, which is what they'd really be looking for, which is oversaw inventory and operations, including order fulfillment, shipping, receiving, sorting, transfers, replenishment. This seems exactly what they're looking for. Train 10 sales associates with CRM software. List what that software is, all right? Whatever that actually is, you need to list it. So with X, and then you can put in parentheses CRM software and inventory protocols to ensure inventory accuracy. This is good. I love this. Developed a streamlined standard operation procedure, SOP, through Microsoft Office. I would say used Microsoft Office to develop blankety blankety blank. Produce daily quarter reports. So we have this, although this is a little lacking. And all right, so here's what we're going to need to do to fix this. This can be shorter, but I want you to focus on at least a good customer service bullet point. This is great, but I need you to list the CRM, and what I also need is more detail on your organization. I want to know how you did it. The rest of these are fine. The rest of these are good, but I need to know more particularly how you did the organization and project management skills. This is fine. I like this as a very good intro sentence. I would not change it. This is also really good, but I want a little more details than just I want to know that this is what kept people organized, right? Used Microsoft Office to keep us organized by developing SOP standard operating procedures for shipping and industry packaging. That should be it. So regardless of that, I think the rest of it is fine. So you need to shrink this down a little bit. Like I said, shrink this a little bit, then shrink this, and then we go down here and we hit them with what they actually super want. But otherwise, I think this is fine because based on the amount of gemology openings, they should have more than 20 seconds to look at your resume. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a creative project manager, and I will be perfectly honest with you. I was not able to find a ton of differences between this and a regular project manager. The only exception I really found was it focused a little bit more on like art and stuff. So you need like Adobe, Creative Suits, Asana, that kind of stuff. So otherwise it looked the exact same. And this person asked me their ultimate goal would be to the work in the UK, specifically London. Any suggestions for the way to achieve that? Bro, I have no idea. I'm sorry. That is such beyond my knowledge as a US recruiter. I could find the qualifications you would need in the UK, but has to actually get through the immigration process. That is beyond me. So, do not know that, but I can tell you at least the US qualifications, which is what I did find, because I really wasn't sure which to look at. But, you know, so what we're going to be looking for is primarily this, the details about how and why you did X. They really, really, really want to know as a project manager how you did X. How you did it is more important than almost anything else. So PMP, CSM, customer, stakeholder, agile, those are all things we like. The number of team members, if it's matrix or cross-functional, the number of projects, budgets, basically the, you know, like, did you manage 2 people versus 200 and in what space and how many? How did you use resources for success and influence people? Jira, Confluence, MS Project, and then as far as I could tell, obviously you want Microsoft Office, but familiar with like art tools, so like Adobe, Creative, Asana, that kind of stuff. It says you have a 1 in 50 ratio, which isn't bad. I think a 1 in 50 is pretty solid. So I'm expecting this to be okay, right? Like C- passes, but barely passes. And my dog is trying to get my attention. Buddy, I love you. Come here. I can give you pets while reviewing this, but I will be off camera. So you never go into appropriate pet range. You always have to make me lean over. All right. So let's see. Your education should still be at the top unless it's not related. Okay. Most innovative companies. What? Okay. Coordinated 13 product launch. This is written weird and I'm not sure how to, I don't know if this is the formatting or whatever, but it's kind of messing with my brain. But coordinated 13 project launches, overseeing documentation, scheduling, and cross-functional team meetings to ensure timely completion of deliverables. This should not be 2 sentences. This should be 1 sentence. Just make this a comma. Say, which resulted in a 7 billion increase in USD crypto stablecoin circulation. So I actually really, 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 really like this. I don't like this because I don't understand it. Because this is stablecoin I don't know how this is related to it. Like, I don't know why this is important. So this part fails because I don't know why it's important, but this is phenomenal and you could be getting interviews alone based on this. This already is like 25% of what I'm looking for in this first sentence. So proactively, you don't need to say that. Just say executed. Project management best practice for 100 projects through project documentation and reporting processes, including prepping briefs, scheduling meetings, ensuring the project. This is really good. I would want it to be 3 lines max, but this is really good. I like this. Manage cross-functional partnerships amongst global design, business demand, operation. Okay. Leverage. I hate the word leverage. DSC framework, timely making across teams. This. So here's the thing is you kind of are repeating yourself, right? You already mentioned cross-function. No, you had alignment across. Yeah, you already mentioned cross-functional. You've already mentioned updates to stakeholders. This sentence is not necessary, and I don't know what DACI is. Developed and manage recurring project management for ongoing projects. I don't know if this sentence is needed. Maintain and optimize a global web page. Again, I don't know how this is. Well, this is the marketing part. So roles, increasing engagement by 60%. So again, I'm not sure why these are important. You actually wrote a lot of these well. Normally people just throw in the qualifications without the how and the why. and you actually have the how and the why, but you kind of forgot some of the qualifications. So you have a lot of stuff here. This is already most of what I would like. I would like more basic, boring stuff. Like, I want to know that you used Microsoft Office, that you've used like Adobe and Asana, and that's kind of it. Is you're missing a couple of stuff. Oh, TA, huh? Nice. You hired 102 people in a quarter. Good. I've beaten your record, but good. Very impressive. Training 3, onboarding. Yeah, this is actually solid because it shows across department relationships. Yeah. So you have, this is a little too technical heavy, right? Like, I'm not sure. I don't understand how this is important. I don't understand why this is important. And some of these are slightly too wordy. So you over-engineered it a little bit, but it's not terrible. Would your education need to be up at the top? You have a journalism. You know what? Normally I would say your education should be at the bottom, but you are specifically applying for like marketing stuff, and a journalism education would probably be very good. Oh my gosh, you have a PMP and I didn't even notice. This is the biggest sin of your resume. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's what you need to do. Put your educations up here. Put your 2 educations, and then above those put the PMI and the PMP. And it's okay to say expected August. That's okay, because it's like you're about to get it. So, and then once you get it, just put status active, because this is huge. They love this. So this is not a terrible resume. I'm actually shocked it's only getting you 1 in. I know it's getting you 1 in 50 because it's too heavy and they're not able to find it in the time they need. And you may be applying strictly to places in like the UK, which I have no idea how you would do that. So what you need to do to summarize, let me recombobulate all my thoughts, is your formatting is slightly off. You want it to look like this. Again, on my website, you click on these resume templates. My goodness, that is a huge page. This is how to do it. So follow this template. And then what you want to do is put your education up at the top. But above that, so you have an education and sorts section. You need your PMP and PMI above your degree. And then you need to simplify this a little bit and make it a little bit more understandable with a layman, and add in a little bit more stuff with marketing. And then you should be good. In addition, don't do this because you're applying for creative project manager positions, and this says marketing project coordinators. You're immediately saying you're something you're not. So delete that, fix the formatting, and I think you're gonna have a lot of success in the US. I have no idea how to do the UK stuff. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of an AI intern. Okay, I'll be honest, they said AI, but I did change it to machine learning because that should be good. And there's a lot of different types of AI internships, and they're mostly going to be the same. So you can switch out ML with some of the other stuff if you need, but this is officially going to be for a machine learning intern. So what we're going to be looking for is machine learning. We're going to be looking for Python, C++, or SQL, PyTorch, TensorFlow, Cloud, LLM, AI, Generative AI, ChatGPT, basically anything AI, so NLP also counts. Takes direction and criticism and works well with others. So this is a master's, which I did not know beforehand, so the qualification is going to be a little bit stronger, which means it's going to be in between that and this. Oh my gosh. My computer is not doing stuff. Okay, computer, please don't break on me. Okay, let's fix this. There we go. It's going to be between this and this. And if you can tell, they're mostly the same. This is for a machine learning engineer specifically, so not an intern. They're mostly the same when you get to the master's and the bachelor's level. They're just not going to be as intense. So in between those two. And I'm going to put this one here as well. So obviously you don't need all of this, you just need in between those two. Anyway, this person has, what is their ratio? I did not see. We do not know. So they first off committed a giant sin, is you sent me your resume in a JPEG format. Never send your resume in anything other than Word, the Google Docs version of Word, whatever that is, I never can remember, or PDF. If it's not those three, the ATS may actually not be able to read it. People assume the ATS has to do with formatting. It's mainly the file type. So as long as it's a PDF, Word, or the Google Words version, it'll be read. But a JPEG, not everything reads JPEGs. So don't do that. And let's actually see what's with this resume. So you have this, oh gosh, I don't think this is going to link right. You can delete this. Again, skill sections don't matter. It's hyperlinking the wrong things. The education should be into 2 lines. I don't need this to be more than 2 lines. It should be like this. So 1 line like this, another line with your master's. Sorry, master's first, then bachelor's. And then, like I said, technical skills can be deleted. Doesn't matter. Led a team of 5 in delivering AI projects by leveraging, I hate the word leveraging, by using agile development practices, optimizing workflows, improve project delivery speed, and ensuring solutions were scalable. So, like, this is not a good sentence. Led a team of 5 is fine. Because, again, as you are a master's candidate, they're going to assume a bit you can work well with others. The problem is the rest of this. Agile is fine, but, like, bro, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for in the very beginning, and let me take specifically the machine learning stuff here, is AI, which I found 1, ML, LLM, NLP, Python, R, MATLAB, LangChain, SkibbityLearn, Cloud, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps, Hadoop, Spark, and Kafka. Not once did you put any of these besides AI. Agile can be a benefit. I think that's fine. I don't know if they're going to care for an internship, but they will care for the full-time position. So, but like, you don't want to say led a team of 5 in delivering AI projects by leveraging Agile, blah, 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 blah. You want to say led a team of 5 in delivering AI projects in Python or MATLAB, SkibbityLearn, and TensorFlow, to ensure solutions were scalable and efficient. I don't know what 20% project delivery speed is. Okay, that's too broad. I don't know if I care about that. Like, what? How did you were you ahead of schedule? I don't know. People try to corporatize their resumes. Don't corporatize your resume. Once you're in corporate, learn to speak corporate. But resumes are terrible places to put that. So, extracted actionable strategies from 10 expert-led sessions in guiding architecture major projects. So, this is not terrible, except you don't have any of this. This is the stuff I'm looking for machine learning specifically, at least. If you're looking, or for AI engineer. Sorry, this is for an AI engineer, not machine learning. And I don't see any of those. Because remember, this doesn't, can't link them. This doesn't count. Skill sections do not count. They should be deleted. If you have a skill section, it really, really doesn't matter on your resume, and it's basically wasted space. So you've wasted a lot of space with this, and you haven't given me anything else. And again, this doesn't count. I need it to be here. And I'm looking through these, and I see PyTorch and SkibbityLearn, which is good. And the rest of it, I don't. So you're missing the qualifications. Because remember, these are the qualifications. These are how we determine you are qualified. If you do not have these, you cannot move forward. And you cannot use them in a skill section. They have to be shown in the bullet points. If you don't show them in the bullet points, you might as well not have them. So that is going to be your problem with this, is you've done some pretty impressive stuff, but it's not related because you did not put the qualifications. So put the qualifications in here and stop with the corporatizing of your resume. You do not want your resume to be corporatized. Once you get in that, learn corpo. But until then, don't put it on your resume. Let's go to the next one. This is a resume of an assistant controller. They said they've applied to 70 plus jobs over the last few weeks, and they're just burned out trying to figure out what to be doing wrong. I know that's not long for a job search, but it's the longest I've been unemployed since, oh no, computer, why are you messing up, computer? Okay, there we go. Longest since I've been unemployed since I started my career, and now I have a family support, so it's not fun. It's not. Searching for a job is not fun. I can make it easier, but it's still never going to be fun. I don't know of a person that enjoys filling out those applications. I also can't seem to get any of the recruiters I've reached out to take me seriously and actually offer me assistance, because that's not our job. So this I do to help people. If a candidate messages me, I tell them to come to this channel, or when I'm Twitch streaming, to help them. But our job is not to help candidates. That's not our job. Our job is not to get you a job. Our job is to fill a role and manage the process for a role for a company. And the differences between those two things are night and day. We have to do what's best for the company, not you. As long as it's legal and as long as we don't do anything shady, we still have to work for the company. You are not somebody we work for. We do not work for candidates. We work for the client, and the client is the one that pays us. So if you are messaging recruiters and you don't have what they need, they are not going to respond to you, because that's not our job. And I don't know how else to say that besides bluntly, is recruiters are not here to help you get a job. I specifically, the headless headhunter, am doing that to help you get a job. This is not normal, all right? And when I'm in my recruiting mode, I can't help those people. I have to reject 99 people before I get to one I get to hire. So they're not taking you seriously or calling you back, because that's not our job. You're an accountant, right? It's kind of like somebody randomly messaging you and saying, hey, I need help on my taxes. Can you help me do that for free? That's the same thing. And I know you've gotten that, but that's not what the job is. So even though, and then the others say within the ranges they're posting about. So you're not getting anything back. So first off, I double check to make sure your contact information is correct. Second off, what we're looking for in assistant controller, and this goes for almost all accounting roles, the dichotomy between if you have a CPA and if you don't have a CPA is night and day. I don't know of a single industry where it's this big, but if you have a CPA, recruiters will be beating down your door to try to get you into their role. If you do not have a CPA, you are invisible. And that's just the market the way it is. So first off, if you have a CPA, holy moly, you probably don't need my help. You probably already got 3 offers. But we do need to see your degree. We also want to see generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, Excel, advanced functions, pivot tables, etc. When I get into fights with candidates, like specifically software engineers, about why they need to put Java or JavaScript, even though it's basic, I get in that same fight with accountants. If you're an accountant, you need to put Excel. I need to see Excel along with advanced functions, pivot tables, etc. Absolutely 120%. And that is a massive thing you need to put in. I don't care how basic that is. QuickBooks is nice, or ERP, and then the rest of, along with NetSuite, and then MS Office is what we need. Now, specifically for an assistant controller, where it deviates is I want to know a little bit of leadership experience. I'm not talking about like managing 12 different bajillion sites, but just like a little bit of leadership and management. In addition, I want to know your industry. So like real estate versus private equity versus I guess taxes. It's been a bit since I've done accounting. So bonuses are for auditing, budgeting, and cross-functional. So let's see why this person has having a horrible ratio. So first off, what is this formatting? This is a nightmare. The very thing is, why is this is the second time I've seen this. Why is every L bolded? That don't do that. You want to use Arial. Arial is your best friend. All right. Not the Little Mermaid, but the actual font. Arial 10.5 is what it should be. Everything under here should be 10.5. Your contact information can be a little bit bigger. So ownership of month-to-end close process so month-to-end or close process was something I did actually see 1 or 2. So that could be nice to have. Bank relationship involving foreign currencies. Okay, cool. Okay, implementing accounts receivable. I don't know what that is and I don't care. Provided ad hoc short-term cash flow. Don't care. Prepared quarterly VAT returns. UK Kingdom. Okay, so again, I looked up this for the US. This may be completely different. It's the UK. But there is nothing here I need besides month-to-end clone process. Your entire first job has nothing in it that I would be looking for. Except maybe your industry, I would say. But that's it. But where's the Gap? Where's the Excel? Where's the QuickBooks? Where's the MS Office? Where's the any ERP? Where's the NetSuite? Where's the leadership? So nothing. Coordinated and communicated with sales team, customers to obtain purchase orders, reviewed, validating invoice. Yeah, again, I don't see this. I still don't know if you're in. Okay. I don't know where you live, actually. This is going to really matter. Updated larger ledgers. Okay, yeah, there's nothing here. This is why you're getting rejected. If you had a CPA, the rest of this wouldn't matter. They would move you forward almost alone based on that. But this is what I'm looking for, and you have nothing. There's nothing in here. That's why we're not going back to you, is there's absolutely nothing here. During September 2021, that was a hot job market. This is not the same as this. These are very, very, very different markets. And right now, this ain't a good market. And you don't have any of this. This is what I'm looking for. I need Gap. I need Excel. I need 1,000% Excel. If you're an accountant and you don't put Excel in your resume, you are asking to get rejected. I need like maybe QuickBooks or MS Office. But yeah, I don't see anything. I don't even know how you're related to being an assistant controller. So there's nothing here that I need. Your education is in accounting. That should be up at the top. You don't need to tell me when you graduated. You can just say status graduated. And at the very bottom here, you say a bunch of skills. Guess what? Skill sections don't count. I'm trying to burn that into everybody's resume, is unless your skills, which are the qualifications, are in the bullet points under a job or a project or an internship, and you show how you use them and the reason or result of using them, that is the only time they matter. If they are anywhere else, it does not count. Having a skills section at the bottom does not count. Having a skills section at the top does not count. Having a skills section underneath this, like off to the side, doesn't count. It has to be here. And you have to tell me how you did it and the reason or result. Otherwise, it does not count and it's just wasted space. So that's all I can do for this resume. I hope that, I'm not trying to like pick on you. I just hope it made sense, and I want to make sure you get a job, because it sucks to not have a job. And if you need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to about 2 p.m. PST. Sometimes I go later on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. The algorithm is a fickle beast, and I don't fully understand it, but I know that your likes and comments do actually help me out a lot. And until next time, I'm here to help you get ahead of your job search.